there, my name is Chantal. I'm from Clay Play and I'm showing you today how to make this cute little ring dish or trinket dish that looks like a seashell. So when you open your clay pack, you will find a little info sheet, and on that info sheet there's step-by-step instructions that you can also look at if you struggle. So today we're going to use our boards, a ball of clay, bit of water. You can use a spray bottle or just a little small dish of water that you can use when we need to smoothen out the clay or when it gets a bit too dry, and also your stick. So first up, we're going to start by rolling a ball. And then we're going to start flattening it out. So you can use the palm of your hand just to lightly, softly slab it. Try and work in a round shape like a circle or oval. If you make a mistake throughout the process, you can stop and squish it up and start again. That's the nice thing about clay. If you make a mistake, you can always fix it. Okay, so at this stage, my slab is about thick as a piece of toast, and that's exactly what you want. If you look at my sample, you see it's the same type of thickness all around. If it's too thin, the chances that it's going to break is very big. So try and keep it, if you think about a piece of toast, how thick that is. And you can always, if it's too thin, squash it up and start again. Okay, so now that I've got my shape, I'm going to use my stick to first draw in this pattern of the shell. So if you look at my one, you'll see there's two little indents here. So I'm going to take my stick and just lightly first draw in two shapes like that. If you make a mistake, you can always rub it out and start again. So if you're happy with that, you can press a bit deeper to cut it out. Like that. There we go. Excess clay you can put on the side. Always remember to close your clay when you're not using it. The air dry clay dries very quickly, and then you can't use it anymore. So pieces like this you can put back in your bag. Okay, so now I've got my shape. You'll see it's a bit rough, so I'll just use my finger to smoothen it out, making it nice and smooth. There we go. I feel this part is too thick, so I'm pressing it down a bit, pressing it wider. There we go. Okay, so next step is I want to start by pushing my sides up for the top part of my shell. So I'm using my fingers, just gently start by making almost like a scallop edge. It's okay if there's finger marks, we can always smoothen it out. And the same at the top of my shell. Let's see there. So I'm just slightly using my fingers to pinch it, shape it, get it into the right texture. So, okay, there we go. Next up, we're going to use our stick just to slightly lightly draw lines. There we go. You can use your finger again, smoothen it out. I'm going to add a bit of extra detail by just pressing my fingerprints into this edge. Now at this stage you can decide, okay, I'm happy with it, and you can leave it to dry, or you can work on it a bit more, smoothen it out, get your shape all nice and smooth. Also remember just to turn it around and make sure that everywhere it's nice and worked in and smooth. Okay, so that's the basic shape. If you want to now, you can maybe add like a pearl. It's not in the original one, but that's the nice thing about being creative. You can add your own little personal touch to it. So maybe I want to add a pearl. So when you do that, remember when we're joining clay together, always use a stick to scratch and attach. Otherwise, it's just gonna fall off. So I always just use my stick just to create a bit of texture on the one side, and I say I want to put it over there where you want to put it, and you can add it in. There we go. So here's an example with and an example without. Always just remember to press lightly. The more you work it in, the less chances that it's going to break. There it is. Okay, and that's as easy as that. So the next one we're going to do is the jellyfish. I'm going to show that in the next video. This needs to dry now for at least 3 to 5 days, depending on the weather. Now in the winter holidays, when it's cloudy or raining, it's going to maybe take a bit longer. The best way to know that your clay is ready is when you can see this one is still wet. I'm going to turn this one around. You can see the color change. I can't make any indents with my finger. Here I can still. So if you test it and you can still make marks or squish it around a bit, then you know it's not ready yet. So remember to put it in a windowsill or somewhere where it can just stand for a few days till it's ready to paint.